Next,
No, he went OKC, Golden State, Brooklyn, now Phoenix.
Right? It's just kind of like, I think if he could do it over again, let me say this, and I think young players can learn from Kevin Durant. And they can learn from LeBron. I think LeBron has made some mistakes too when it comes to trying to be player and GM. Trying to think that they can put a team together and coach said team. He never should have left Golden State. And I think the only reason he left Golden State was because of the media. The media chastised and criticized him at such an intense level that it made him decide, I got to prove that I can do it without this group. And I brought up these young guys, stop letting the media
What's the word, y'all? Another domino is falling. DeJounte Murray just got traded to the Pelicans about 2 hours ago, and I'm finally able to record a video. Now, originally, I was out playing some golf, and I saw this first tweet. New Orleans has landed DeJounte Murray to anchor the Pelicans' backcourt, and I was like, whoa, that's huge. Because I feel like for the last month or two, everybody had been mocking DeJounte to the Pelicans, but it was more like a win-win thing where it was Brandon Ingram going back to Atlanta. Trae Young has a new running mate in Brandon Ingram, and the Pelicans finally have a real point guard. But instead, that's not even what the Pelicans did. It is Larry Nance, it is Dyson Daniels, it is a 2025 first-round pick via the Lakers. That was the pick that they deferred. They could have taken this year. They decided to bet against LeBron James and stuff, his old age, and maybe next year they miss the playoffs completely, and that pick is a little bit more knowledgeable. And then a 2027 first-round pick that is the least favorable of the Bucks and the Pelicans. So it's not the trade that we mocked up, but it's a trade that we like, man.
Yeah.
The Pelicans have been an interesting team, let's say
that. Are you really going to come
with
me?
Also had this one, and I know it was bad.
But I'd be worried if you went out alone.
How they, as a team, didn't make sense.
Worried?
The fact that they
I'm just transporting a letter, and only to the sand.
And also never won fourth quarters. It made zero sense for them to be a playoff team, but they
both happen to have a day off today.
It also made zero sense. They're starting five with a negative net rating, but somehow they made the play. Like, it is a team with a bunch of improbable circumstances that still led to W's, and that was one of the reasons why I really enjoyed watching them play.
No, there's nothing bad about it.
I saw a lot of things, because then I was a little bit late to the party here, where people were saying, oh, I guess that means that DeJounte Murray's going to trade, I'm sorry, Brandon Ingram's going to trade in a different deal, and that's still possible. But what said that the Pelicans are trying to keep Brandon Ingram around? Here's the actual tweet. New Orleans was 0-24 when trailing entering the fourth quarter. 2-14 in close games, and see Murray as a player who could generate offense late in games. Hells remain committed to the
Don't worry about it.
CJ McCollum, and they're trying to find common ground with Brandon Ingram in a contract. So it's still possible that Brandon Ingram could get traded, but they're trying to run it out. And whoa, what a pickup, man! Considering the price that you paid, I love it. I still don't know what that lineup looks like, assuming, let's say they do figure something out with Brandon Ingram, because in my personal opinion, when I looked at the Pelicans going into this offseason, I thought there was no world where Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III weren't the starting wings on this team. And if you extend Brandon Ingram here, there's a world where these really allowed us.
So listen. what? You little... Oh, man.
And they continue to see that because, like, it says they're committed to Zion and CJ McCollum as a core. So that means that you're not sending CJ McCollum to the bench. So it is DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Z, and 5-man to be named later. Is it Eve Missy? Is that how you pronounce it? Missy? Is that your 5-man? Because Val is a free agent. I don't think they're going to be bringing him back. But that means that Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III are dedicated to the bench. And Herb Jones, one of the best defensive players in basketball, y'all. So they have a lot of decisions to make. And maybe that does mean that they're going to gear themselves up for a different trade with Brandon Ingram. Or maybe they're not getting back now talent or replenishing some of these draft talent. It's a worthy bet just because you desperately need a point guard. And I remember when they traded for CJ McCollum again, I thought it was a good trade on paper, but it didn't answer a lot of their questions. And CJ did a fine job, an okay job, translating from a full-time 2 to mostly a 1. It just didn't work out. I did enjoy your point. Zion too, but you really needed a guy to get things going. And then again, it's one of the worst clutch offenses in basketball. DeJounte's a guy that can settle some things down. Let's talk about the other side of the game for the Atlanta Hawks. You see people clown the Atlanta Hawks for the trade. I don't hate it. Given where the league is, right? And given that we all knew, if you had watched more than 3 games of the Atlanta Hawks this season, you know that they had to make a decision between those 2 guards, right? So you knew, and we knew at home, that the general manager across basketball knew that DeJounte Murray's value wasn't as high because you weren't going to bring both of them back together. So I think people know that because it's Brandon Ingram, this is an able trade. I don't really feel that way. This is a team that traded a bunch of picks to get DeJounte Murray, and if I'm not mistaken, one of the picks they traded away was their own 2025. And the 2024 draft is over and everything, and everybody's shifted gears to 2025. And my God, the way people are talking about 2025 draft class, it's worth having a pick that is a Lakers pick. And let's be real, the Lakers still have LeBron. They still have Anthony Davis. It's probably not going to end up the first overall pick in this draft, but it's still a pick to attach yourself to for 2025. Dyson Daniels is a worthy bet. He's not much on offense, other than him being a positive passer. He's not much on offense. But if you can watch it, he is one of my favorite defensive players in basketball. He's going to get deflections out of this world, and I think Atlanta Hawks fans are going to like him. This is kind of like, sometimes, especially this is a new regime for us. It's a new regime. This is Landry Fields making these decisions. He made a decision yesterday trading AJ Griffin for the 40-something overall pick in his class. He's obviously trying to shape the roster to his liking. But I think this can be an addition by subtraction type of thing. Again, you're obviously losing a lot of talent. DeJounte Murray going out of the door. But again, I don't hate this. This gears you up from
Expedia members get member prices and rewards for future trips.
Love schools. I think almost everyone knows those colorful default images. Pretty to look at, but come on, not really screaming unique. Of course you can use your own wallpaper, but I keep seeing that they often aren't really customized for lock screens. I mean, who wants the best part of their image getting blocked by the clock? But fixing that in Adobe Photoshop is super easy. Okay, let's go. Select the crop tool, the aspect ratio to 9:16, drag the crop frame upwards, and let generator fill do the rest. That's already it. So with just a few clicks you can modify your images to perfectly matches your lock screens.
Obviously continue to play alongside Trae Young and try to build a team around him. If that's not working in February, you just return 2 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray, and you can also get more first-round picks for Trae Young. So this is not one of the trades where I'm immediately like, oh my God, this team is super finessed, because there is no leverage from one of the teams. Like we have to continue to think about that. Like a true talent for talent trade objectively. The Atlanta Hawks lost the trade. Talent for talent. But that's not what trades are in basketball all of the time. You got 2 first-round picks for a guy that you knew you weren't going to bring back. I don't know exactly what the starting lineup looks like for Atlanta. It's meaning that you're pairing Dyson Daniels with Trae Young in the backcourt. So I think it could work out if
if you feel like Dyson could develop his physical style a little more, but having an offensive-minded guy to play alongside Clay Young in the backcourt makes it consistent. I think it will be looked at a little bit differently if, like, the first overall pick in this draft is somebody that everybody would love with. Because then you look at the Atlanta Hawks score, and you're like, okay, yeah, Trae Young is still a young player. Trae is still a young player. I know that he's still okay because he's been on a lot for a long time. He had a final appearance almost one time. He is still a young player. It's just more a matter of fact for him, is he okay in willing to maybe have a season or two where the team is not competing for playoff spots? But Russell, that's kind of what the last couple seasons feels like. So they take a small step back with the idea of redoing the team around where before, again, making a mistake down the line and playing on the if I'm grading this trade for the Pelicans based on today, I'm still going like a sweet A, not A plus, but a sweet A because I do believe they see out there the things to make, like restarting or restaying. And for the Atlanta Hawks, maybe it's a C plus, like it's a bump passing grade for these persons. And maybe I'm just a big Dyson Daniels fan. Maybe that's really what it is. But I don't think this is what seems like the consensus is in the Good trade. Fun trade. Everybody keeps talking about what's going on with Tony doing for the next 48 hours. So let's go through what's happening with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, because I don't know if I have that. Other guys like Tobias Harris. There's so many wings out there that maybe will help you go over the top, but people are going to be interested in, and once PG is making that decision, it is what it is. So I think about, are there any other wrinkles in this trade that you're talking about? Not really. All right, let's just leave it at that. I hold the right to change my opinion.
Can we get the loquacious one, Rob G, just to give us the quick news on the trade? I mean, the main guy was obviously DeJounte Murray, but still, give us the whole trade.
Yeah, Chris and Sean. So DeJounte Murray, as you guys know, there was speculation around him getting moved. They have done that. He is no longer in Atlanta, and the Hawks are going to send over to the Pelicans in exchange the Pelicans are going to send over to the Hawks, in exchange, Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, and 2 first-round selections, and apparently a bucket of balls as well. So there's a lot there, but DeJounte Murray is out, and yeah, Chris and Sean, they were thinking, well, do they rebuild, or are they going to stay with Murray, or are they going to try to go anew? And it looks like there's a new path and a new culture being set in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta definitely is going in a different direction. It'll be interesting. I assume they'll keep Trae, but his name's been out there as well.
If you're Trae, you got to be going upstairs. Like, I want out too, right? I don't want to be part of this.
I mean, he part of the issue. I mean, I have an issue with stars demanding trades when they're part of the issue. I just think he needs, and I don't want to just risk the Atlanta organization, but I think Trae Young needs to be in like a really organization that's going to teach him how to play really ball. He's immensely talented, right? He's always up near the top of the league in assists, and he scores darn near 30 points a game. So his talent is great, but he's inefficient, highly inefficient. He's not going to be a great defender ever, but he can be a smart defender. He can be in the right place at the right time. I love him in San Antonio. But I know they got Stephon Castle, so he may end up being their point guard of the future, and I like him a lot too. But I think Trae's in a place like San Antonio where they would teach him how to play the right way. He would have a shooter guard better than him. I think that would be great. And I'm not down to say, look, he obviously led his team to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he is tough. I know he's had some bad playoff moments, but he's had some great ones, and he went and conquered Madison Square Garden. So he's tough, and he's incredibly talented, but I want to see him in a different situation. So I guess if he asked for a trade, I wouldn't rip him, but I just think he's he's a part of the issue too.
I'll say this though, Chris. I love the move for the Pelicans because McCollum and Brandon Ingram have proven that they can play off the ball and get their shots. So to bring a point guard in with size, that can score, that's proven to be a good distributor of the ball, gives them more length on defense. If Zion can stay healthy, you know, with what is it, Valanciunas?
Well, Valanciunas is a free agent, so
okay.
And the thought is he might be gone. We'll see. I like Valanciunas.
I do too. I like that.
Sorry, they need some stop.
Yeah, I
am a fan of Devontae Murray. I love TJ McCollum. Ingram is a solid great. But, you know, he and Zion, and they do both like the ball. If this off-season, if I'm the Pelicans and I'm playing on Eastern Brandon, or even if now I may end up having to use him anyway, I am just having to work to stop. Because he's had a few seasons where he's not 39-3, so it's there, but I need him to be an even better shooter. Because here's the one question mark I now have about the Pelicans. Where's the shooter? TJ is a really good shooter. Ingram, okay, like I said, you got to do that. Zion isn't shooting good at all. DeJounte was better, I think, last year, but he's like 34, 35% so, and then whoever that, right now, they don't really have a shot. I mean, if they were small, Harry Jones is a great defender. Trey Murphy is a great defense with the helmet. And so that's my only thing. I think they need a little more shooting, but athleticism. It's not the final step, but I think it was a step in the right direction.
I thought they never should have got rid of Jackson Hayes. I loved his development, potential. Secondly, Brandon Ingram's a 36% career three-point shooter. My issue with Ingram is availability. I mean, his rookie year played 79 games.